To Vegas now and the drying up of Lake Mead. A lawyer in Vegas is attracting some attention for his unconventional marketing efforts surrounding the reservoir. This attorney is connecting low levels of water and human remains in a crack at Curbside Comedy in Sin City. Signs, everywhere there are signs. Times Square, those stress-inducing debt clocks, even on water. But it is a lack of water in Lake Mead and the multiple cases of human remains being uncovered that has sparked one attorney's creative juices.
And I thought, how about I do something different?
And that's exactly what the park injury law firm did, putting up this sign: injured while searching for dead bodies at Lake Mead, demand compensation. It definitely takes a sense of humor.
The world as it is right now is depressing. We get bad news every day. So why not throw something up that's going to make people either give them a chuckle, let them think about something, or what I thought would happen is no one would even bother to read it. But I guess I was wrong. People do read billboards.
Stephen Park is no stranger to being spicy for Sin City. His past hits: everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Mike Tyson. If you have a problem, I'll solve it. Vanilla Ice. And his very inside baseball: fellas, I gotta have more cowbell.
If you're a fan of Saturday Night Live, which I certainly am, most people won't get it, but those who do are kind of in on the joke.
So while the others will discuss what will be unearthed next,
the drought is happening. We're going to find a lot of stuff.
What the mob had to do with it all.
Killing somebody and putting them in a barrel and dumping them in water is actually a common mob tactic going back to the 1800s.
The secrets of Lake Mead are good fodder for bringing in the next slip and fall.
To the folks that are laughing, you're my people, you get it. To the folks that aren't laughing, please do. It is a ironic view on attorneys, and I hope you get a laugh out of it.
Yeah, some self-deprecation can go a long way. The mysteries below the surface of Lake Mead being uncovered as that water level reaches record lows right now. Earlier this week, there was another set of human remains found in the reservoir. Local officials, including a dive team, were near the lake investigating what they found. Mark Sanson was also at the lake when he saw authorities near the shoreline. He recorded the video that you're looking at now on his YouTube channel, The Other Me, and Mark is joining us live tonight. You've been really documenting and investigating and then sharing what you have found at Lake Mead for a while now. Even though this attorney's making light of a situation, finding some humor in it, there's a lot to be concerned about around Lake Mead, and particularly as things dry up, so many people are impacted, the businesses. Tell me what you've seen over the last couple of months, Mark.
I've seen the lake is a very dangerous place right now. I mean, as far as exploring, if you're going around the coves where the water used to be. So I'm seeing a major water drop is what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing a lot of people exploring when you really kind of got to be careful when you're out there. And then I'm seeing a lot of negative impact as far as reporting on where the water's actually going. And I think it's just a little of everything right now of what's happening out at the lake. I think it's such a hot story that there's so many angles on it, and that it's just being reported everywhere now.
Yeah, well, and as I was mentioning a moment ago, the businesses, you visited some of these marinas. Their livelihood is a reservoir full of water for boats, for tourists. That's drying up.
Yeah, and the marinas had to be pushed out a few times. And it's the point now, if the lake were to keep falling, there's an island that sits right behind the Hemingway Harbor Marina. They would have to move that marina to the right and push it back out into the lake. And it gets moved anywhere from 80 to 100 feet every single time they move it. That means they have to extend plumbing lines, electrical lines, and that's a big project by itself just to get all that stuff out there so that they still have the power and necessary facilities that they have out there. Not to mention all the people that work there at the restaurants and the gift shop. That's their livelihood.
Yeah. Describe, Mark, what you've seen with tourists and people who are curious showing up at Lake Mead, some of the risks involved when they're looking to uncover whatever it is that used to be under the water.
Well, the risks are basically, when you're getting close to the water where it used to be, if the water has dropped over a week, and in some incidences it was dropping almost a foot every 2 weeks, maybe more, a foot to 3 feet, the land right around those coves becomes quicksand. And in some of my videos that I've filmed, my son Alex, he stepped in, he went down to his knees. I've gone down to my knees. And if you get both feet in there, you can just keep going down. And if you're not with other people, you could find yourself in a lot of trouble. There's wildlife out there. There's just, I mean, being trapped to the waist and not being able to get out in mud and quicksand, that's not something you want to be doing right now. Not to mention there's a lot of boats. So there's some hikes that you can go up the sides of these islands that are coming out now that used to be underwater, and some of the boats are on their sides. And I've said this about trash being removed from the lake. People that want to hike up and take pictures and video of those boats need to be careful because they'll come down on top of you.
Yeah, well, tread lightly. You have spent a lot of time, Mark. I know it can be emotional being out there seeing what you've seen, but giving people fair warning to be prepared. The lake is at the lowest level we've seen since 1930. Your YouTube channel is really interesting. Caught a couple of your clips today. Be safe out there as you continue to document and tell these stories. Good to see you, Mark. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.